Jabroni, Jabronixyz, oh, it doesn't matter, you spell jabroni.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Two Jabronis with a Wrestling Podcast. BJ Cruz here with my tag team partner, the man who has outshirted me today, wearing an incredible wrestling shirt, the incomparable Jeremy Loss. Jay, what's up, dude?
I wore this shirt during the infamous White Claw chug, so
bringing it back. That's right. It had to be retired for a few months.
Yeah,
it had to recover.
Back. This is a really comfortable shirt, by the way. Shout out Homage. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at Homage, but they make some really comfortable wrestling shirts. So shout out to them.
Absolutely. Before we get into the logistics of the show that we do every week or every episode, I did want to take this time and Jeremy as well to speak up about the hashtag Speaking Out movement that's been happening on Twitter. In regards to some horrific things that have been happening in the wrestling world. It would be ridiculous for us not to address this. I'll say this as a wrestling fan, I'm disgusted. As a person, I'm also disgusted. And then also as a father to a young girl, I'm absolutely horrified for the world that she inevitably has to grow up in, because there are as many good people are out there. There are equally as many horrible people, and unfortunately, some of them have infiltrated the wrestling business and the business that you and I love. We stand with all of the women speaking out. It takes courage. It takes a lot to speak up, and we stand firmly behind you. We are sorry for everything that you have had to endure, how long you've had to stay silent, and I hope that the people who have caused harm, have caused pain, are brought to kind of have their reckoning a little bit, and for everyone else, I hope that they find peace in however this all shakes out. But just from us, we stand with you, and we are so sorry that all of these horrific things have happened to you.
Yeah, I echo that 100%. As a wrestling fan, as a father to a young girl, we love this business. We go to this business for a release. And sadly, this is something that not only happens in the wrestling business, but happens in the world as a whole. This is something that we do not stand for. We are 100% behind everybody who has come out and spoken up. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to put yourself out there and speak your truth. So we are behind you 100%. And we hope that everybody that is being implicated in this is brought to justice in some way, and that those who have spoken out can finally get some peace and just feel somewhat normal again. Because I know that there is a lot of trauma that comes along with this. So you are brave, you are loved, and we are with you.
Absolutely. And now we've said our piece on that, and we'll, as stuff happens, stuff comes out, we'll continue to address it. We won't shy away from things like this. But we're going to move into the rest of our Thursday. What day is it today? Thursday/Friday show. First, obviously, some housekeeping. We are, of course, brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network, as well as our friends over at betonline.ag. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you download your podcasts. And if you're one of our fantastic Apple Podcast users, please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you're feeling spicy, leave a review, and our Spotify people, hit follow on our show account on Spotify. I found out yesterday my wife was not following us on Spotify. It was an awkward conversation to say the least, and she hit the follow by the end of it. But don't be like my wife. Follow us immediately.
And make sure you follow us on social. You can follow us at 2Jabronis Pod on Twitter and on Instagram and in the BR app. You can follow our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel at 2Jabronis with a Wrestling Podcast. There's a red button around here somewhere. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Alas, and you can follow Ben at Cruise Control. That's Control with a K. I do want to send a quick shout out to everybody who's been following us recently. We've seen some pretty substantial growth on our Twitter account, and I can't thank you guys enough for just joining us on this ride. We've been doing this for a little over a year now, and this is just a passion project for Ben and I.
Right.
And we never thought that this would go this far, that we'd have this people actually listening to us or following us on Twitter just to get our opinions on things. So it means a lot, just every single one of you that have listened to our podcast, followed us on Twitter, followed us on Instagram, interacted with us in some way. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, we've got a bit of a different show for everyone today. We took to the Twitter yesterday, threw up a poll and asked what type of show you wanted us to do for today. The winner, not close, by the way, the clear runaway winner was a WCW Monday Nitro watch along, however you want to put it. So, Jay, this was your idea. You put it in the queue. Why don't you tell everyone how this is going to shake out?
Sure. So, we're children of the Attitude Era, and Monday Nitro was a key part of that era because
Huge.
Obviously we had the Monday Night Wars, and just kind of shaped wrestling for years to come. So, what better way to kind of honor that time than to watch an episode of Nitro and see what it was like? I mean, it was completely it was total 90s era. So, we're actually going to watch the debut of Kevin Nash, the June 10th, 1996 episode of Monday Nitro. This is 2 episodes after Scott Hall made his infamous debut, where he walked into the ring during a random match and declared that he was looking for Billionaire Ted, and said, you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. And it just kickstarted the Outsiders, and then eventually the NWO and the boom era of WCW. So we are going to watch this entire episode. It's an hour and a half. I know it's pretty long, but considering we all sit here and watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw.
That was my point. Yeah.
Let's watch an old episode of Nitro and see what we got. So we'll have a countdown. We'll start it so that you guys can watch along with us. We're going to watch the episode, comment on what's going on the show, but also just have a random conversation about things in wrestling as well. This is going to be pretty loose.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be as structured as the shows in the past.
Right. And we do want you to watch along with us. So this was pretty easy for us to find on the WWE Network. I know sometimes there's content on there. Sometimes gets a little lost, given that there's so much of it and it's a little bit hard to find. An easy search in the search bar you'll find this episode there. So please watch along with us. And with that, it is now time for the main event. And for this week's main event, it is time for the first ever 2 Jabronis with a Wrestling Podcast watch along, Monday Nitro edition. I'll work on that naming part. So, all right, we're gonna count down, Jay. So we also have to do this for each other so that we can watch this in sync. So going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.
All right, so we're doing I'm coming up on the old.
Oh, here we go. The old Nitro intro.
Entrance, which is, I think it's a TNT lot or a Universal Studios lot that they just did the clips on the buildings, and they had the fire. And this is completely 90s.
This also may be where Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream had their title match at In Your House. Unclear.
I knew that building looked familiar.
Yeah, unclear.
Oh man, Tony Schiavone still in just I loved him back in the day. And then you have Larry
He's oh, look
Zbyszko
at
alongside
young
him.
Shivani. Look at young Tony Schiavone.
Hey, remember when wrestling, like being crowds were a thing for wrestling shows?
Oh my
You
God.
remember
Yeah,
that?
look at this crowd. Rowdy.
The kid in the front row has no shirt on.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like good parenting right there. Give that kid a shirt. He's wearing a hat though. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, man. And there's a sign behind it that says Stingsational.
Yes.
This is pre Crow Sting as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah. I think we're gonna see that later on the show.
yeah. So according to the rundown of what this show is, we are gonna kickstart the night with a match between Booker T and Scott Steiner.
Oh yes. Yes. That sounds incredible. Another thing that's incredible, this mock turtleneck that Larry Zbyszko is rocking. This royal blue, borderline purple mock turtleneck.
Purple. That's not even close to royal blue. That's purple.
Well, that's why I have glasses.
I have glasses too. But
You do. Well, you're a Lakers fan. You can spot purple from miles and miles away.
Man, look at Tony Schiavone's mullet.
It's very impressive. Also, something that stands out. This has been a few minutes already of just the announcers kind of setting up the show, almost like a
that's just
narrator
something
of
you don't
sorts.
see anymore.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
It's usually like a cold open with either somebody doing a promo or a match, and then they'll eventually get to the announcers. But yeah, you don't see them just doing a 5 to 10 minute segment with the announcers just standing there.
Right. Oh, they're throwing to the throwback or the recap of Scott Hall showing up, cutting a promo on Sting and Bischoff. Oh,
it's funny because Scott Hall here is still doing his Razor Ramon gimmick.
Yeah, but
He's
really
still
well
doing-
though.
Yeah, I mean, I love that gimmick. It's one of my favorites. But he still has that, like he's still trying to do the Cuban American accent. He's still got the toothpicks.
What a tease.
I mean, they did an excellent job with this. That is something that, I mean, I'm sure they get their just due, but like looking back at it, like the slow build for the outsiders and then the third man.
Right. Oh, hang on. I got to cut you off. Listen to this theme song. It's it's one of your favorites. Jeremy drafted this song in our entrance song theme draft.
Come on, man. This is the greatest
Booker
theme song
T,
ever.
Harlem Heat. Look at Booker. Look at Booker.
He's got the nose strip.
Wow.
Man, that's a fit.
That also very confused about this singlet. No, it's not a singlet. I'm very confused about his by his attire here because he just has a piece of cloth fully still exposing his nips. Very confused as to why that's even necessary. I get it's for like to show the Harlem Heat symbol, but it doesn't seem efficient in terms of its usage.
No, like just take it off and let's just let it all out. But it's just funny because like the music outside of a few select ones that are obviously like transitioned over to WWE, like it's all like generic music that they have to use for the entrance music right now.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Also, look at Steiner, man.
Scott Steiner, full head of hair,
mullet.
Full head of hair.
He's still, I mean, he was jacked. That is a iconic mullet. That thing is halfway down his back.
What's crazy though is when he like cuts his hair and dyes it blonde, he becomes even more jacked, like too jacked almost. That's when you know the steroid use just started to shoot up.
But man, when he turned into Big Papa Pump,
that was incredible.
All right, let's see. Man, I haven't watched mid-90s wrestling in so long.
It's been a while. Two legends going at it right now.
Should be two Hall of Famers, to be honest with you. Scott Steiner needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, that's a colorful singlet, too.
Yeah, it looks very, very Chad Gable-esque.
Yeah, well, this is when he was in him and his brother were doing like the amateur wrestler gimmick.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
man, Booker's massive too, man.
Hair toss.
I don't know if I like. when I was a kid, obviously I'm 9 years old at this time. I don't know if I can envision Booker T being the singles superstar that he would become at this point.
I don't think so, but that's because they just did a really good job of selling Harlem Heat as a tag team.
Yeah.
You know? And they had the same gear, they had an incredible song. So until someone was like going to turn on someone. Yeah. But he I just saw him talking on WWE Backstage. Bret Hart was on that episode on Tuesday, and he talked about how him and Bret don't really look that fondly upon their time working in WCW, just because they said it was just constantly a shit show. There was just no consistency in terms of how things were run backstage, and Booker was lauded.
Damn, that was a move.
That was a hell of a move. Booker was lauded for being one of the best workers in the company, even when he was in Harlem Heat. And so, I know it's tough for us to kind of picture that he would become a singles superstar the way that he has. But hey, man, he did it. And it's kind of like Edge. Remember the first time you saw Edge and you're like, man, this dude's dope. Like, the Brood was awesome. Him and Christian were awesome. And it's not until like years later where you're like, man, they really were grooming him to be like the next superstar. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it does take some time to get them off the ground in terms of like getting them over with the audience and then just getting them their cachet. And it just took a little bit of time for Booker T to really get that. But yeah, I mean, I remember first time seeing Edge as well. I loved him with the Brood. I thought it was great. Here's a scissor kick. Bam! Ugh.
That's it. That's his finisher. No way.
I don't think that was his finisher at that time.
It wasn't yet. He also did he went for the heel kick, which he missed.
Did you happen to see that the announcers are sitting right next to the ring?
They are, yeah.
Like literally right next to the ring.
Yeah. They didn't have they didn't have the budget yet to expand that space. Once the NWO came, they got more space.
Well, like they have a booth at the top, which we'll see later, but like the actual announcement team for their in-ring action is literally right on the ring. And I think Ring of Honor still does that. But man, that's crazy. There must have been some major accidents for them to actually move that back. This is actually a pretty fun match considering it's the first match of the night.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I actually really like this. Let's see what we got here. Booker T's gonna do some weird.
Oh,
he is not a small man, and he just also the way that Nick Patrick like really like throws his arm around when he's trying to do the count is just.
Is he? I gotta look at it again. Is he? I just missed his count there. Is he one of those short arm count guys? I can't stand those guys.
Yeah, he'll like short arm it, but like he'll shake his hand when he's doing it, and it's
like him and Scott Armstrong drive me insane. Or whenever I watch
windmill.
No, I want them to
like come down.
Earl Hebner, great counter. Counter. John Cone, is that the ref's name in WWE? The guy who's his son won the tag team belts with Braun. He's also a great ref.
Ooh, what a backbone.
Mike Chioda, also a great ref.
Now, how did you like when you were wrestling when you were a kid? How did you like? I always did like the slow, fast slap because I just wanted it like that's how I counted. But like,
I didn't have great wingspan, still don't. So I couldn't reach back as far as the other refs. So I feel like as much as I'm shitting on the short arm count refs, I think I was more of a short arm count ref guy when I would ref for matches for my friends. I had to work with what I had, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you got to...
Oh. Went for the Frankensteiner. That was his finisher. That's crazy.
Damn.
Oh.
Spin wheel kick with the knee. That's... You see what I'm talking about with the count?
A little wiggle.
It's just a funny count. Also, that outfit is dope for the ref. I like that. They brought that back.
Charles Robinson wore that for Edge Orton at Backlash.
Yeah. The plain blue shirt with the bow tie. I like that. Booker to the top rope.
Man, he got elevation on that.
Yeah. actually really likes this tandem of Zbyszko and Shivani. I actually like them as an announcer.
Yeah, they were really good.
Wow, that was a weird finish.
An over the head, belly to belly as the finish there. After
a pretty solid match, but that was a weird finish.
It was quick.
Yeah.
How long was that match? Let's take a look. Oh, okay.
It's like 10-minute match.
So yeah, a little less than 10. Man, look at Scott Steiner's hair here. Incredible. I would bring that back now.
And the replay is brought to you by Pet Boys.
Pet Boys. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Power Pin of the Week. It's a little early to dub something the Pin of the Week.
Actually, I take that back. That finisher was dope. That was a belly-to-belly over-the-head suplex.
Yeah, I think at that time that might have been super impressive. You just kind of see that fairly regularly now. Man, the crowd just didn't pop for it.
Right. He's jacked, man. And then they have a...
Oh, is this Mongo?
Mongo with Kevin Green.
Yes. We stand for Mongo on this podcast.
Yeah, there's Woman too. Man, this is just so wild to me now. Like just going back to this time, like trying to imagine what I was doing when I was 9 years old. I definitely was at a neighbor's house watching this episode.
Yeah, trying to like watch this in secret, hiding from my parents in the basement.
I would do nitro parties at a friend's house who lived next door to me, and I would watch Raw at my house.
God, look at Scott Steiner's arm. It's bigger than my head.
I love this. I love the Steiner promo.
Pre-Steiner math.
Yeah. Deborah McMichael. Gosh, I'm going to sound like a noob here, but like that, she was married to Steve Austin for a while, right?
Yes, but that was when they were in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Mean Gene.
What a legend. Great. Yeah. Look at Gene with the amazing tie. Fantastic pocket square. Tied perfectly.
I just love these little segments in front of the ramp because he would just come out and have an interview, and then he would talk shit to people too.
Right.
I like these. I like them doing it in front of the ramp better than doing it backstage.
Yeah.
Because then the crowd can get involved, and the crowd can like I know that now they do the backstaging and still hear the crowd, but them doing it in front of the ramp and like Okerlund like talking directly to the audience while also interviewing them at the same time just felt so much better to me.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, they I know there's no real big audience right now, but they've been trying to do that, like a couple post match interviews, like at the top of the ramp at the PC. I know that's where Christian accepted Orton's challenge on Raw, so they've kind of been doing stuff like this, but not like full interviews and conversations like me and Gene. Like this is fantastic.
Yeah, this is like a full-on segment here. I know that they started doing like the post-match interviews where they'll have like Kayla or Renee come down to the ring and then they'll talk to the winner, which are okay. But I just love the fact like they'll have Gene just stand there at the ramp just waiting for them.
Right.
It's almost like Craig. It was almost like Craig Sager.
Yes, exactly. On TNT.
Yeah. Just a bunch of legends. Who we got here now? Oh, shit. So we have Jim Powers, who I'm assuming is enhancement talent because I don't remember this guy at all. Again, another fantastic head of hair. Against DDP before he was like incredibly over.
DDP.
Oh, man. Did you see that kid's hat in the front row? The pink Sting hat?
Yeah, that was elite.
Yeah, this is when DDP was not quite DDP yet.
Wow.
That is a fit.
He's kind of... It's like he's dressed like Diet Macho Man.
Yeah. It's crazy because like this is 20 plus years ago, 30 years ago. Fuck, I don't know. 30 years, close to 30 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and like DDP looks old.
Well, or he looks the exact same, just no hair. He looks exactly like this right
He
now.
just has always kind of looked a little old to me.
Yeah.
Like he wears his age.
DDP yoga has kind of kept him, it like stopped him from aging.
That is some bright green trunks that he has on. Again,
He's
another
wrestling with
fantastic
gum
head of
in
hair
his
with a
mouth?
mullet.
This seems
Yeah.
ill-advised and dangerous.
This guy that he's wrestling is jacked.
Yeah, he is.
Just about everybody has got like it's just ripped and juiced to the gills, except for DDP, who looks like he like smoked a pack of cigarettes before coming out. And
Well, he was full on smoking a cigar as he walked to the ramp.
I mean, I don't want to trash DDP because he put in a lot of work to get over, and he became.
Oh, he was.
There was that
incredible.
point in time. I want to say it was like '98, where he was like one of the hottest wrestlers in the business. He was just red.
I mean,
hot.
they teamed him with Karl Malone. That's how
Yeah.
high they thought of him, right? During that whole Rodman NWO thing.
Yeah, he was just like the underdog that finally got over against the NWO, and he was. He was great.
Another short arm count ref.
Oh, another quick roll up. He's got the. Okay, so Ric Flair and Arn Anderson are going to be in a match later tonight on this episode. So that's going to be interesting. I haven't watched Arn Anderson wrestle in so long.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him deliver a couple spine busters. He's still got it.
I mean, his spine buster, like I'm sure he can do that in his sleep. Okay, this match is kind of wonky. It's not crisp at all.
Okay. His first big move.
It's a totally different, like he just full on missed him with that kick. But man, he fully missed him. The style of wrestling is just drastically different. So much more slow and methodical. You know?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys, like the guys and girls now, are just so much more athletic, and
right.
They kind of have to jump into like a quicker pace right away because obviously I think everyone's attention spans is like shortened significantly. So you have a short amount of time to get everyone on board with what you're doing.
Right.
And I think that's what was so refreshing about Orton Edge. Sure, was it the greatest wrestling match ever? No. But was it really, really good? Absolutely. It's because they built to kind of that ending, which is kind of how a lot of these matches were in the 90s, right? It was slow, methodical, and calculated. And now it's just you got to hit your high spots quicker.
That was a cool spot. Yeah, I feel like they told stories a little bit better in their matches during this time. Holy shit.
Right. Oh.
He's eating these headshots
He's
in
diving
the
his
corner.
head in, yeah.
Like he was not like trying to put his hand there. He was eating them. And then he sold that like crazy. Yeah, I feel like
it looked like a low blow. All right.
I feel like they had to tell their stories a little better in the ring at this point because they didn't have the athletic ability or well, I'm not saying they didn't have the athletic, like they were athletes, but I mean, like you said, the people that are wrestling now are just athletes on another level. And I think the moveset has evolved. And here they have to do things that.
Oh, diamond cutter.
What a cutter. I mean, they're making these moves, these basic moves actually look pretty devastating. You know what I mean?
And I think this was still kind of bordering on that era of big personalities sell tickets, right? It's not necessarily about completely. I mean, look, Hogan was still delivering a leg drop as friggin' finisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just evidence right there that it necessarily wasn't the biggest moves, or like you didn't have to be all that good in the ring to be over. You just kind of had to be a big personality and cut a promo.
Right.
The Taskmaster.
Oh yeah, I think he was the booker at this time. I think he was still the booker for the show.
Whoa.
Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, look at this Four Horsemen shirt on Arn Anderson,
Jesus,
by the way.
man.
That's incredible.
I legit hated the Four Horsemen when I was a kid. Couldn't stand them.
That was the point. They did a great job of that.
I was so against them. And then I don't even know when I started. I think it had to have been when I was like 15, 16. When I went back to it, I was like, okay, these guys were legit.
Yeah.
Like it takes a little bit more of an educated and evolved mindset when you're thinking about wrestling to be a fan of the Four Horsemen.
Four Horsemen, yeah.
My mind is almost like is trained to say Four Horsewomen at this
right.
At this point. Yeah, Kevin Sullivan here was, yeah, like I said, I think he was the booker, and I think he was kind of rubbing people the wrong way.
Right.
At least that's what I remember hearing, because I listened to a whole bunch of episodes of 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, and obviously he talks about this time. And
oh, we just called him Booker Man. So, yeah.
Yeah, was that Brian Pillman too?
That was Brian Pillman.
I still remember that Brian Pillman, Steve Austin program with the segment where he goes to his house and Brian Pillman has the gun.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was intense.
Yeah, it was wild. Rest in peace, Brian Pillman, man.
R.I.P.
He was great. He really was ahead of his time. He could have been a massive, massive star.
Absolutely.
It's wild looking back at this, and we're looking at an image of Chris Benoit. We're not going to go into that, but just seeing all of the stars and wrestlers that are no longer with us, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really sad.
There's those kids.
Oh, that's why they had TNT. Oh, and WCW on the back. Oh, okay.
I legit was one of those kids, though.
Just drawing letters
like
on your chest? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, look at Conan's gimmick.
Whoa. Man, this must be very different for him to watch. He just has his ring gear evolved so quickly.
Yeah. Well, let me see. I'm going to go back here. I need to look up some of his stuff. Let me see here.
Man, kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that full gear. Wow.
Who was he? He was a really weird character in WWF before going back to WCW, and I just can't remember. Oh, it was Max Moon. That's right. So this kind of looks like the Max Moon character for like some of his ring gear, and then he goes back to WCW, and then he joins the NWO. He's part of the Wolf Pack.
Yep.
And then he's part of the Filthy Animals.
Yeah, he was in a lot of factions.
Yeah. But man, he was hot as as part of the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, it was. I popped hard when he joined. I thought that was incredible.
I legit I was a 9-10-year-old white kid in the suburbs, and I swear to God, I would say "Viva la raza."
Yeah,
I'd get into it, and my mom would just be like, "What are you doing?"
That's crazy that Conan's the U.S. champ here. It's like the secondary title.
All right, so we got Ming coming out. For the Faces of Fear. And I was just watching an episode before this, and he was in a tag match against High Voltage, and it was great.
Man, the hair in the 90s was just otherworldly.
right? They were still holding on to these mullets. It's just crazy. And here comes Sting. Pre-Crow Sting. So this is like Venice Beach surfer Sting. And he is incredibly over. When did you start really enjoying Sting?
The not until Crow Sting, to be honest.
Same.
He just had this aura around him where it was like, he was just so mysterious. We were like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? And he was like a killer. You know, he would,
right.
Whenever he would show up, it just felt important. Like this Sting just kind of feels like a knockoff Warrior in a sense.
Yeah,
you know? And
I can see that.
It's probably just like the face paint, the bright colors. But Crow Sting is really where I really started to buy into Sting.
Just so much more interesting.
Yeah.
And the way that they built it too was just perfect.
Yeah.
And he'll turn Crow Sting here by the end of 96 and just get shot to the moon because he's just so good. But yeah, this version, I think we've talked about this numerous times. Like a good like heel or a good like dark mysterious character is so much better than like a white meat babyface, and him being a white meat babyface is just so boring to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like with characters, you want them to have levels, right? You want them to understand, like, yeah, there's the good, but they also are kind of unpredictable in a sense, where you know they could turn to that other side at any point. Like it's entertainment, right? We're just kind of we like to be surprised, and you know that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
yellow boots for Sting.
Yeah, yellow boots, but his tights are dope. I like that.
Yeah, those are
like the rainbow
dope.
Sting with the stinger down the side.
Big backdrop on Ming. Oh.
Yeah, this is solid.
That's crazy. Sting just in the third match
yeah.
of a Nitro.
Third match, one half of the tag team champions. And then by year's end, he'll be one of the top two, if not the top star in the company again.
Right.
It's just crazy how things can change within 6 months with proper storytelling. And it's great that they actually built it over a few months rather than trying to do it in a few weeks. You know what I mean? Like so much of it now, like it's very rare to have a story build for months on end. It's like here we got 3 weeks to build something before a pay-per-view. And it just feels rushed. It doesn't feel like it's properly built. And back in this day, like they could take their time.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I got to see Sting wrestle live at least once. Granted, it was
that's
at WrestleMania
right.
31.
You were at 31.
Way past his prime, but I had never got a chance. Like, I never went to a WCW live show. I went to a few WWF shows when I was a kid, but I never got a chance to go to WCW, so I never saw him live. So being able to just like experience his aura, if you will.
But you also kind of got a little taste of WCW in that match, right?
So that was weird to me.
It was a little weird.
I talked about this with everybody during the show. I was like, do they realize that like Sting and an NWO were like feuding for a very, very long time? Like they're not buddies. Like why are they coming out to save him?
Well, he was teamed with Nash and Hall in the Wolfpack, so it wasn't that like, out of the blue. But no, like Black and White NWO and Sting, absolutely. Like all they did was butt heads. So that from that aspect, it was weird. What a weird way to get into the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah, that was super weird. That was not clean at all.
No step through?
No. Yeah, Shivani's even saying, he's like, he didn't even twist it on. Like, that was weird. What a weird finish. Also, did you guys,
not a lot of time.
The guy in the front row wearing a Trick shirt? Man, the 90s were something different. I love that we can watch this stuff on the network now.
It's crazy. Just kind of scrolling through, you're like,
Yeah.
all the nitros are just on there.
Ooh, Jim Duggan. That was one of my favorite things that when I went to WrestleMania is I was walking to go get a beer, and I just like threw up my thumb and yelled "ho," and I got like everybody in the concourse to do it with me. It was pretty fucking great.
Wrestling fans are incredible. Just at shows. William Regal, by the way, just popped in.
Yeah.
NXT GM.
Underrated. Just an underrated in-ring worker.
Very, very good. Oh, look, Bobby the Brain. Well,
Yeah.
Deborah. Second segment with Deborah.
Oh yeah, this is leading up to the Great American Bash. We should probably do that one too. 'Cause I believe it was Bash at the Beach where we got the reveal, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
the
it
third
wasn't
man.
this one, but it was the next one.
Yeah.
Is when we got So maybe we'll do. So that's gonna be our show on July 7th. I don't know what day July 7th is in the day of the week, but let's see here. Calendar, pull it up. This is great podcasting, by the way. Me looking at my calendar.
Hey, man. What is happening in there? Oh.
Man, look at Flair.
Look at young Nate. Well, young-ish Nate.
Still in the game.
Oh, immediately went for the figure 4.
He just put on a figure 4 in the backstage.
In the back, yeah. That is painful, though.
And Arn is just
clubbing the knee. This is a
is
fantastic
that?
segment.
Joe Gomez. Okay. Man, he's getting worked.
The figure 4 is legit painful. I think I've talked about it on the show before. In 4th grade, my friend, was it 4th grade? 4th or 5th grade, my friend put me in the figure 4 for like 5 to 10 minutes during recess. My legs hurt for 3 days.
He put you in the figure 4 for 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah. It was just one
Your
of those.
friend is a sadist. That's crazy.
It was insane. My knees were in pain for like 3 days.
Yeah, the figure 4 is painful. So is the walls of Jericho. I swear, like when
The
I
angle,
got
if
put in
you
the walls of
angle it
Jericho when I was
right,
a kid.
yeah, if you angle the walls of Jericho right, because at its core, it's just a Boston Crab, right? But if you
Yeah.
angle it where their neck is even bent or is bent more, that just adds more pressure on the back of their neck and head.
Look at this gimmick.
Wow.
Squire David Taylor, and it is like colonial British
Versus
So
the
we have-
Americans, yeah. This was
Great Britain versus America.
the this preempted Mel Gibson's The Patriot movie.
Man, I love that movie. That's a good movie.
I rewatch it whenever it's on. It's historically inaccurate. Just there's a lot of stuff in
Iconic
there where
Heath
you're
Ledger
like, what is
performance,
happening?
though.
It was great Heath Ledger performance.
Yeah, look at everybody. Oh, here he comes. Thumbs up. Give me your thumbs up in the hoe. Oh.
Wow, look at this.
No, I'm pretty sure Jim Duggan now is Jim Duggan a MAGA?
I hope
know?
not.
All right, let's type it in the Google machine here.
Be careful of what you find. be very careful.
I really hope not. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into this, but let's see. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. That was one of the highlights of my Mania experience is yelling ho, getting a beer, and getting everybody to do it with me.
Was he there? Was he at that Mania?
No.
How many beers in were you when you did that?
That was my first beer. That shows you the attitude I was in that night.
Well, you were
I was
just
ready to rock.
feeling the energy.
I was ready to rock. I was all for it. I I had seen 2 people get engaged already at that point. Somebody got engaged in the merch line, which was wild to me.
In the merch line. That's
In the merch line. So they're buying their Bray Wyatt t-shirt, and he's like, now's the time to pop the question.
why
And,
wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah. And everybody around them was chanting, yes, it was great. I hope that happy couple is still married at this time.
Why
But
wouldn't
yeah,
they? If you got engaged in the merch line at WrestleMania 31,
that's just
that's a forever type of
yeah,
relationship.
that's a forever. Then now forever.
Exactly. Look at this generic ring gear, just across the board here.
Yeah, blue trunks. That's all we got. Yeah, so going back to Bash at the Beach. So Bash at the Beach, July 7th, 1996. So July 7th, 2020 happens to be on a Tuesday night. So I think we'll do this again for that show, and we'll do a watch along.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that we can do the reveal.
Oh,
That's still one of my favorite moments in wrestling history, regardless if it's a Hogan thing.
I mean, it was one of the most impactful, right? It really, really swung the Monday Night Wars and just kind of everyone's perception of who was in the lead at that time.
That was actually a pretty smooth move for a guy that looks really unathletic.
Right. He missed, though.
And Duggan is just...
He's keeping it simple, man. He's got 3 moves. Oh, I thought... Did he think a clothesline was going to get him the 3 count?
Yeah. Oh, so sneaky shit's happening. Oh, hit him with... Man, that was a lot of buildup for a basic right hand.
Oh, look at that.
I love those uppercuts,
Look at the uppercut,
man.
yeah. So when Cesaro does them, fantastic.
They're so clean. And Cesaro just takes them to another level. But, man, I just love the look of, like, hitting the uppercut. And obviously they're not hitting with the fist. They're hitting with that, with the elbow joint. But, like, man, it's so good looking.
Wow.
What is with the tape? I don't remember this gimmick of him having tape in his trunks.
He pulled it out of his trunks.
That's sweaty ball tape that he just pulled out.
Why would that be a finisher? Doesn't that lessen the impact of a punch? I don't know. I haven't punched a lot of people in my life.
And he just threw the tape in the crowd. So somebody just got a roll of sweaty ball tape.
But
Jim Duggan
from Jim Duggan. So why do you have to...
What are we doing here?
What a random ending. Oh, and he sat there and took it.
What a sell.
Great sell. Actually, a very, very good sell.
It was a less than entertaining match.
A little weird. A little wonky.
I never quite got why Jim Duggan carried a 2x4.
You know, that's the American thing to do, is just carry random pieces of wood.
Look at young Ray and young Dean Malenko.
Whoa.
God, man. Dean Malenko was a fucking machine.
So good. Ray still wrestling today. Incredible.
Look how small he was.
Yeah, he got pretty jacked by the end of it.
Young Eddie too.
Young Eddie.
The speed is absurd.
Ooh, I love me a good snap suplex. I'm a sucker for that move.
Whew.
Oh, Ray.
Were those highlights of Ray wrestling in like AAA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Ray versus Dean Malenko, Great American Bash. Look at Big Boss Man, Big Bubba.
This is weird.
So backstory here. Also, Big Bubba has a tattoo of himself.
Oh yeah. Oh, that
Confederate
tattoo.
flag.
I was just gonna say that tattoo didn't age well.
So I watched this literally right before we came on, this promo of Shark, and saying that his name is John Tanta, and he goes, I swear to God, one of the lines in the promo goes, "I'm not a fish, I'm not a quake," because his gimmick before this was Shark, and then and he was Quake in WWF, But it's just funny. He's like, I'm not a fish. My name is John Tanta. And I'm like, what a fucking line. What a line. And now it's Big Bubba.
Big Bubba also just disregarding all rules about how to hold scissors.
Right.
If I'm Mean Gene, I'm telling him to put that shit down for fear of getting my eyes poked out.
You gotta point the blades down.
No, if I've remember anything from being like 4 years old in kindergarten, they always said hold the blade like in your hand. That way you don't cut yourself if you fall. This man,
I've always done. I've held the blade in my hand, but I've also just like turned the blade down,
sure,
so that it's facing the ground. But yeah,
in any case, just make sure it's not facing upward, or you're like cutting randomly while people are around.
Right. No, there's Macho Man.
Macho
with Mongo.
Macho and Mongo. A Big Show. Look at the Giant.
Now I want to spend like after seeing Mongo on the screen like 2-3 times. Now I just want to spend like 3 hours going through the "What will Mongo do next" Twitter account.
It's an incredible. If you're not following that Twitter account, no idea what you're doing with your life.
Whoever created that and Rick Rude selling atomic drops, just bless them. All right, what do we got here?
Well, Scott Norton.
Yeah, Scott Norton. So it's Scott Norton versus the Giant for the WCW World Title, which is still my favorite title belt of all time.
It's a beautiful belt. Also, look at this title picture: Scott Norton and the Big Show, or I'm sorry, the Giant.
Who did he chokeslam here? Also, the weeks prior, they had vignettes for Glacier.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if they have one scheduled for this show, but do you remember Glacier?
I do. Sub-Zero
It was
Jace.
just a blatant ripoff of Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Sub-Zero Jace, man. Hey, Mortal Kombat was huge. Why wouldn't you rip off all of those characters?
I just remember Bischoff. I know like Bischoff talks about it frequently on 83 Weeks, and it's like how Bischoff is I want to say a karate world champion or just some like national champion karate practitioner. So like he was big into karate, and then obviously Mortal Kombat was big and video game characters were big. So that's where they kind of leaned into Glacier, but that gimmick was terrible.
It was not good.
He came back. Was he in the first Casino Royale Battle Royale for
AEW? Wasn't he? I feel like you're right.
He came back recently for like a few matches, and they were just like gimmick stuff, but like he still has it. Like he could still throw some cool spin kicks and shit, but man, that's oh yeah, I remember when they used to do the countdown for the second hour because the second hour means something different. And Bischoff's on the call for the second hour.
Oh yeah, this
is
like what.
This for
remember the third hour of Raw? They'd like dim the lights.
Yeah, they would do some stuff that like some other stuff on Monday Night Raw too. But yeah, they used to make the change every hour like a big deal, and now it's just like whatever. It all just kind of
flows together.
Jimmy Hart.
A WCW tie.
Big guy.
Is that a tie or a shirt?
That's a tie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a tie.
Need me a WCW tie. Look at skinny Big Show.
Do you remember when he used to walk down to the ring with a cigarette in his mouth?
Yes.
Man. Yeah, he like there was a moment in time when he was with WCW where he just did not give a shit, and he'd walk down with a cigarette in his mouth.
Look at this dude.
It's crazy. Now this guy is going to be a WWE Hall of Famer,
right?
And he has a family show on fucking Netflix. Have you watched that show?
No, I can't say that I have.
I gave it 3 minutes, and I was like, nope.
I ingest too much wrestling content as it is. I don't know if I could sell my wife and being like, you want to watch this sitcom
called The Big Show
The Big Show?
Why not just call it The Big Show?
Look, man, I didn't make the show. I'm not the showrunner.
Man, that is a gorgeous belt.
Look at this. The title's on the line in the first half of this 1 hour show. Or the first part of the
first match
second,
of the second
hour.
hour.
That's crazy.
Yep. Cool. Those are some massive blows. Laying them in.
Scott Norton's a big dude too. He just looks tiny next to the Giant.
And the Giant actually is moving. Find it funny that, well, I mean, they really leaned into him being the next Andre the Giant. They put him in the same gear.
Right. Look at these forearms. Look at these firm forearms.
Yeah, Bischoff and Bobby the Brain are on the call right now. Back when, like, the owners of the company used to be announcers.
Right. When does Mike Tenay join the group?
Sometime in middle of 96, 97. Let's see. Mike Tenay.
Oh, he's going to run into
What are your
pole.
thoughts on Mike Tenay?
He was fine. He was a nice secondary dude. I enjoyed Zbyszko, Shivani, and Brain's work a lot more, but
Yeah, so he's part of WCW at this time. So he's with WCW from 94 to 2001, but on September 2nd, 96 is when he actually joins the Nitro commentary
what
team.
the hell? That was the match?
It's a squash match.
He ended it like you would in a video game. You do your finisher outside, and then you throw him back in, and you pin him. That's how you win a wrestling
here we
match
go. We
in
gotta
a
run
video
in.
game. Luger?
Luger.
Look
Gotta
at-
love some WCW overbooked madness. Here we go.
Luger, a double champ at this time.
Yeah, and he was going to be look at the spread.
Is that catering? Oh, well, all that food just went to
Oh.
waste. What a waste of food. Why was that even there?
I don't
who was
know.
eating any of those
there was
snacks
like a veggie platter
during a
there.
live show?
Oh, he hit him with an ice bucket.
Would an ice bucket really be that painful to a man of that size?
Oh, who came out?
Who just ran out?
Wait,
What?
they ran by him.
Yeah, he just kind of like stepped around them. Why didn't they kick his ass?
Yeah, right? That was weird. Oh. He's like, where's Luger? And he's literally like 5 feet off to the right.
Now he's cutting a promo. Dude, you got to get out of there. It's like 6 dudes chasing you.
Man, before Hall and Nash show up, Luger was the biggest star for Nitro. Because he was like that.
He also showed up, right? He was the first guy who kind of like defected, like in the middle of this whole
he
thing.
was the biggest coup. Oh, here comes Billy Kidman.
Look at this guy. Young Billy Kidman.
Yep. Oh, look at that Sixers jersey. Is that an Iverson Sixers jersey? Did you see that?
Was it? Was it?
I
What
think
year is this?
so.
What year is this?
Rookie Iverson Sixers jersey.
96. So AI was just drafted, right?
Yeah. Oh man, here again with the gimmick. Here
Oh,
comes
another
Regal.
Brit. Lord Steven Regal with Jeeves. Oh.
He's just giving it to these kids. Oh wow, this is the summer of the Olympic Games. Wow.
Remember the Olympics?
Yeah. was supposed to be happening
this
in
year,
like a month
this
and a
summer.
half.
Yeah.
Damn. He's beating the shit out of Billy Kidman right now. Jesus, what an uppercut.
Look at these uppercuts. Great uppercuts. Regal always gets praised by everyone he worked with. I know Edge and Christian on their podcast, they used to talk him up like crazy. Whoa. What a weird sunset flip. Ooh. Look at athletic Kidman.
Oh.
Looking like moves like Ricochet. Oh, Regal. Wow.
Oh, that looks scary. That was like nearly on his neck. Oh man. He already tapped. That's a brutal finish. Why is Sting out here? So we've had 2 matches on the second hour and 2 run-ins.
2 squashes too, basically. He just slapped him and left?
And he's selling the shit out of that slap.
Look at Regal. Great facial expressions from Regal.
I mean, he's selling it like he got like hit with a death elbow.
Whoa.
Nasty boys. Notorious scumbags.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, their gimmick is like total 80s. I think I've had one of those, like not a Nasty Boy shirt, but I had a shirt made similar to that, where like you would put a shirt on like on a table that spins, and you would just you do it like at the fair, and you would take like a paint can,
right,
and you just spray it, and it like comes out with a shirt like that. I never fucking liked the Nasty Boys. Those are, I think they're in WCW at this point because they're Hogan's boys,
right?
Because yeah, they're pretty notorious for being scumbags and dirtballs. And here comes Public Enemy. Whoa, I totally forgot that one of the guys in Public Enemy's jersey number is 69.
69 00. This is this is a very clumsy beginning here.
Yeah, I don't think any of these guys are particularly good workers. Look at the crowd giving it to him.
Ooh, look at this double camera. I'm sure in '96 this was revolutionary.
This is hard work. Look at those. What are we doing here?
Oh, that was not a safe way.
What is going on?
To initiate a chair shot.
Oh my goodness.
This match is not. I feel exactly this. This match is not good.
This is just awful. Now, if you're watching along with us, this is easily one of the sloppiest matches of the night.
And
I have no idea the story here.
It also doesn't involve Mongo.
Yes. This is awful. How are these guys in the second biggest wrestling organization in the world at the time?
How was this on after the world title match?
Right. And they're getting more time. This is seriously bad wrestling.
It's not good.
But if we're sitting through it, you have to sit through it with us.
Hey, this is the kind of stuff that makes you a real wrestling fan, when you're able to just get through this to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, and at this point, we're still waiting on Kevin Nash's debut.
The big surprise.
The big surprise, because at this point, Scott Hall has teased that he has another partner. He had said, we're here to do business and we're here to change things, and we're still trying to figure out who we is. So
he kind of gave it away though during his tease, because he said
I got a big surprise.
Yeah.
Right. But man, I mean, when I was a kid, when I saw this happen, I was flabbergasted. Couldn't believe it, because obviously this is before the internet. This is before like I really got into dirt sheets and
right.
like, getting information and knowing what was going on, and so seeing this, it was just crazy.
Man, I remember the first time I really got into like dirt sheets and stuff, just like finding that shit on the internet. The amount of viruses that I loaded onto my computer because all like the pop-up ads and stuff that would be on those dirt sheet sites was, I feel really bad for everyone else, for the rest of my family who had to use the computer.
I've put so many viruses on a number of computers in some very nefarious ways.
Right. Hey, the internet now is a dangerous place. It used to just be filthy.
Yeah. I mean, it was always, what is this match?
What is happening?
There has yet to be a clean move thrown throughout this match.
Did they plan any of this? Did they plan any of this match?
Literally, they're just clubbing each other, hitting themselves with like sloppy striking. At one point, these two...
Oh my God. Pile driver?
Oh! It looks like he broke Homeboy's neck, because that was rough.
They're also taking a break in the middle of the match.
Here we go. We got a Glacier vignette. Yes.
This is such a 90s vignette. This is insane.
Whew. They really built Glacier up to be something, and he just was not.
Wow. They also, by the way, them taking a break in the middle of this match is hilarious. Right after a vicious pile driver. They're like, we don't have to stay on for this. We're going to promote Glacier.
Yeah, like, just get off this match, because this is just awful.
This is the first legal tag. Bobby the Brain just taking shots.
We're 7 minutes into the match, and he says this is the first legal tag. Oh, he's getting down in the middle of the ring after hitting a clothesline. Yikes. What do you think of this Public Enemy gimmick?
I can't say I enjoyed it. It just didn't do anything for me, man. This match isn't helping that notion either. This is pretty
one of the
brutal.
worst wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life. This is bad. None of these guys know how to feed. None of these guys know how to sell.
They're like not really telling a story. It's just utter chaos.
They're just going in there and clubbing each other with just sloppy ass moves. Like, what the fuck was that? What was that kick?
This
got
looks
his
like
leg up to his belly button, and that was it.
The structure of this match is like when you simulate a match on a wrestling video game, and the wrestlers are just out of control. There's like no rhythm to the match. They're just doing random things.
This is like you button mashing during a wrestling match. Like you're not knowing how to set up moves. Literally me trying to play WWE 2K20. It's just I'm not knowing how to set up moves and just hitting random buttons and doing stupid shit. What do we got here?
Oh.
Okay.
Not even selling a clothesline well. Was that a hot tag? This crowd is so dead.
He's a slot machine out there with one arm. That was a line from Eric Bischoff.
Okay, that guy's not the legal man.
Oh.
Did you realize that? He just tried to pin the not legal guy, and the ref counted.
What? All right, so who we got? We got a guy just like roaming around the ring. We're still going with this.
How intoxicated are these guys? This just doesn't seem safe.
Oh, is he walking? Is he leaving? Wait, he's taking his bandage off. He's gonna hit him with a cast. This is
So. Oh yeah, that
Is
didn't
this
look
the
like
longest match of the night? I think so. Oh, we
it
got
feels
a trash
like. Oh,
can.
we got a trash can.
So this has got the most time out of all the matches, and it is just a sloppy
pretty dreadful.
slugfest. Wait, are they going to do this match again at the Great American Bash?
Apparently.
Let's see here. Great American Bash,
Yeah, pull it up.
1996. Let's see.
I don't know if this is the match that they should be using to promote the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Call your cable. Can you imagine someone calling their cable company after Public Enemy?
So they made it a singles match. So it's Rocco Rock versus Jerry Sags.
Oh my God.
What?
Wow. What a. Okay.
What a thunderous throw into the stairs. These guys are exhausted.
They're so gassed.
He just fell over and nobody touched him. Oh, he just hit him with a trash can.
None of these guys.
And
he's trying to ring. Look at Nick Patrick trying to ring the bell. No one's ringing it. There it is.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Trash can to the dome.
Oh, didn't sell it. He no-sold it.
So all that, and we ended in a disqualification.
That was easily one of the worst matches I've ever seen.
That was terrible.
That guy's missing a tooth.
We got Hogan here? Nope. Let's see what we got.
Little promo package.
Oh, shoot. I just paused it. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Hogan promo package.
Wow, some of this footage looks like it was filmed on Tiger King.
Who are these? I mean, he was beating up Vader there.
Vader.
Who's that guy? Yeah,
Vader
Vader
again.
again.
Ming. Flair and Hogan wearing the same
Boots.
knee brace and boot combo.
Man, he's clubbing Giant with the chair.
Man, the stuff people say about just Hogan and WCW, Bret Hart especially, it's just wild, dude. Like that
What
dude
did he
basically,
say?
he didn't even insinuate. He flat out said Hogan kind of ran the back, ran the storylines.
Yeah. Hogan always had like his say in things, and he would always kind of make those last calls and be like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go over for like that person's not going over on me," or like. And I think, if I remember correctly, when I listened to here's a Mongo section.
A little Mongo vignette.
Mongo and Kevin Green training in the ring. I'm pretty sure Kevin Green was a better wrestler than Mongo.
Well, as you can see, Mongo doing barely any wrestling, so unclear if he ever was trained properly.
Right. But I think, if I remember correctly, Bischoff was going to ask Sting to be the third man in the NWO, and then Hogan called and was like, "I'll do it," or "I want to be the third man," and that's how it went. Look at that, eating that Slim Jim. Look at that product placement.
Step into a Slim Jim, yeah. He's not really eating it though. Take a bite. Take a bite of the Slim Jim. It's delicious. That was weird.
What is this? this vignette here. What's the music playing in the background?
Unclear.
So you have Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Woman, and Miss Elizabeth.
What a faction.
With Bobby the Brain and Gene Okerlund.
These champagne glasses.
This is a wild segment right now.
There's a phone call segment in the middle of a match. That's insane.
A phone call on a landline. This is Macho Man showing up to the training facility with Kevin Green and Mongo.
Still haven't really seen Mongo do any moves.
Is this around the time that Mongo joins the Four Horsemen?
It has to be.
So is this like the build-up? Like he turns and joins the Four Horsemen?
You know, my Mongo knowledge, not as thorough as it should be.
Who is a Mongo expert on the internet that we can have on the show and give us just the
guy,
ultimate background?
We got to get the person who runs the Mongo account on the show.
This is true. All right, here we go. We got Luger and Sting versus Anderson and Flair. This should be good. And we still have 23 minutes left in the show. So this is the main event. So we're going to give this a good amount of time. Man, those tag belts are underwhelming.
So Sting, this is his third appearance on the show.
Same with Luger. Right?
It's third? I think it's his second. Appearance. But Sting had like a full-on singles match.
That's right, against Ming. So 2 matches in one night.
There's no way that happened. Well, no. It's like a special circumstance if that happens now.
All right, here we go.
A tag team match in the main event, though. How about that? Very.
Love it. Oh, man. God, I love Flair's entrance music.
It's so good.
Look at that robe.
God. That amount of charisma is incredible.
He is just dripping swag right now. And he still has it. Like, I mean, he showed up on Raw on Monday. Hit Christian with the
weird low
silkiest nut shot of all time. Just dripping swag. He is quite possibly the greatest wrestler ever. Between the ropes and on the mic,
so good.
His character, everything. He's a legend.
And longevity.
And longevity. He's got everybody kind of like just eating out of the palm of his hand.
God, those belts are tiny.
Those belts look dirty as shit. Like, they don't even want to, like, polish them. Like, they got grime on them and everything.
Look at him, just dropped them on the side there.
And Arn is just like an absolute unit, man. He just
Arn is
grizzly
built,
man.
He's built and looks like he would be an FTR like today.
Yeah. Oh, what a sell. Man, a push. And Flair did like he flopped on the ground like a
couple
fish.
Times, yeah.
Man, it is hot in this room right now. I'm like, my palms are sweaty. I'm like,
summer, man. Or you're
I
just
don't like it.
or you're just excited about Kevin Nash's impending debut.
I'm really pumped for it because I just cannot wait for the line. Look at the adjective, because my guy is not talking about an adjective. It bothers me. It has been bothering me for 20 years. All right, man. Let's see what this match is.
It took a while for everyone to get settled there.
Just 4 legends in the ring at once.
Those chops.
And Flair's still rocking the man boobs at this time. Whew. How old is he here?
Who, Flair? Oh.
Yeah.
He has to be in his 40s, right? Because he just turned
he's like
70.
46.
Jeez.
46, 47.
Still one of the best workers at this time.
And he would go for another, what, 15 years? Something like that?
With the HBK match was the retire. That was his last like full match, right?
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. (2008), so another 12 years.
That's crazy.
So he would go until just about 60 years old. I forgot that the main event of that WrestleMania was the main event. Yeah. Or at least it was one of the main events. Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show.
Right.
And it went 11 minutes.
Yeah. Much too long.
Man, looking back at that WrestleMania,
Ooh.
so we had, sorry, I'm going off topic here, but we had Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. That went 20 minutes. Kane beat Chavo Guerrero for the ECW championship in 11 seconds. CM Punk won the Money in the Bank ladder match in 15 minutes. Randy Orton beat John Cena and Triple H for the WWE championship in 14 minutes. Floyd beat the Big Show in 11 minutes, and Taker beat Edge in 24 minutes. Man.
Jeez, Taker went 24 minutes.
And there were 10 matches on the card.
Wow.
Compare that to WrestleMania 30. Let's go 20. Okay, I'm going to scroll through here. So we said 10 matches on that card. So we'll go WrestleMania 35 because 36 just doesn't count. All right, WrestleMania 35. How many matches?
Count the pre-show too. Might as well.
16 matches.
It's a doozy.
And the longest match was Triple H with 24 minutes. Kofi beat Daniel Bryan in the second longest match at 23 minutes, just under 24.
Oh, that is right. I remember us talking about that was our first show. How bizarre it was.
Yeah.
Triple H had the longest match of the night.
Main event went 21 minutes. That's crazy. AJ and Randy went 16. Samoa Joe and Ray went a minute long. Jesus. Guess how long Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder versus the Revival went?
It was
Do you think it's over or under 10 minutes?
Under.
Over. It went 13 minutes.
What? That was on the pre-show though, wasn't it? Or was that
It was on the
beginning?
pre-show, but it still went 13 minutes.
Wow. I'm impressed. Not impressed a lot, but I'm impressed.
That went longer than Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. That's crazy. Man, that's one of the longest matches on the card. So you had 24, 23, 21, 16, 15 minutes for Shane McMahon versus The Miz, but a lot of that match was just them walking around the stadium.
Right.
And then the Revival versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Shit, man.
Look at Sting go in this match, by the way.
Man, that's the second
third
time that I've seen Flair take those like
the press
drops. Yeah. Also, I like that he's wearing the knee pads, but they're not on his knees; they're around his shins.
Right. That table's getting a lot of usage.
Yeah, it is. Also, he picked up a chair and then just dropped it. Like he was going to use it, and then he's like, "Nah, fuck that." I love the trunks that have their initials on them.
Yeah, that's dope. Arn Anderson asking for a timeout is incredible.
That's excellent. Just like his coach gimmick now. Bobby the Brain is losing his mind on commentary right now.
Bobby the Brain would get very animated.
Yep. And we got a break coming up. Here we go.
Mid-match break.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't sell that atomic drop very well.
Atomic drop, I feel, is like it's a bit of a difficult move to sell. Because it doesn't look like
that
it
was
hurts.
Great.
Yeah. He went Sting going for the cover after a missed punch. That's incredible.
Oh, here we go. Sting and Flair. Such a big fan of Flair hitting the ropes for no goddamn reason.
Right.
He's like, fuck it, I'm
going
to hit the ropes.
He's so wired. He's got to do it.
He's like, I just did a bump of cocaine in the back. Let's hit the ropes.
Hey man, you gotta wear that energy off somehow. Oh, oof. Such a good chop.
Oh, he just no so the chop.
Stinger splash. Oh,
I love that camera angle. It's like that's the perfect angle for the Stinger splash.
Right.
It just looks so much more devastating.
Pretty impressive work by the cameraman, by the way, to get on the apron and balance. Obviously, they have a little bit extra. There's a little extra room there for them. Still difficult. Oh, another press drop.
He had Flair by the taint there.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
He had a full grasp.
I don't know if that's that's standardized procedure for that type of press.
The random things that I catch in a wrestling match, man. He had a full hand of that.
Superplex? Oh, eye rake? Oh, what just happened there?
Is that a hematoma on Flair's back? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That giant bump that he has there?
Could just be a welt. Oh, superplex.
Oh, my goodness, this is going to be bad.
Oh.
Oof. Man, Flair's going for it, man. This is a random episode of Nitro, and Flair is fucking going for it. Love to see it.
Hey, man, he was all about it. Oh. Thumb to the eye. Dirtiest player in the game.
This is actually pretty great. I'm enjoying this.
It's a pretty solid tag match.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to see why the four of these guys are considered legends. I mean, they're just excellent.
Oh,
there it is.
Fantastic spine buster.
God, man, that move is so crisp.
Kind of on that worker, like, of these four, though, Luger, a clear 4, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he had, I mean, around this time, I was a big Luger fan, but kind of like as you watch more of his matches back, he definitely got by a lot on the way he looked, as opposed to like his ring work. Because his ring work is actually, if you look at it, it's kind of sloppy, a little bit sloppy. He covers it up because he has the look, but oh man, look at that sell by Arn.
God, man, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, I would rank it. I would go Flair, Sting,
Arn, yeah.
and then a like distant fourth, Luger.
I never really understood the torture rack, if I'm being honest. Like, how does that hurt?
It feels like
is it because of the wobbling motion?
More.
Is it the wobbling motion that's supposed to make it hurt? I mean,
is that hurting your core?
I'm unclear. If it was in a video game and I was Luger, I'd use it, but I never really understood where the pain came from. Great tactics.
It seems like it would hurt Luger's shoulders more than anything.
Right. Roll through.
And this is a good match. And Luger spent most of it on the apron. Like Sting is just...
Oh, figure four. Oh, no, reverse.
We gotta roll up. We gotta roll up.
2, 3.
Count 'em.
Oh.
I thought we were
going to do the drop cell.
Faceplant cell.
Oh, another break. Another commercial break.
And Sting is working. I like the dynamic between Bischoff and Heenan. Oh, look at this WCW
magazine.
So I used to look at these magazines in the grocery store. So I would sit at the magazine aisle while my mom shopped and read all the wrestling magazines.
I actually used to buy a lot of WWE magazine. My mom would never let me subscribe, but she like for some reason at least once a month. Oh, maybe it's just being an adult. Like I have to go buy shit every month too. We'd like pop into the drugstore and there'd just be a new WWE magazine. She would never let me subscribe, but if I caught her like kind of on a good day, a Friday or something, she'd buy me the magazine. My favorite one was Bret Hart on the cover with Bart Simpson, both wearing Hitman gear. It was incredible.
Was Bret animated or was he like?
No, he was real, and then it was Bart as Bart, obviously.
Okay, it's still an iconic cameo. Bret Hart and The Simpsons.
So good.
Oh, what a move! His shoulders were not down for that 2 count at all.
I never really understood how a sunset flip could prevent another human from being pinned to the ground that long. It's like you're using the back of your calves as a pinning device. Oh. Backslide? Blind tag.
God,
another amazing sell by Arn.
All right, let's see if we get the hot tag. We're gonna get a hot tag here. Let's see. I mean, they're building it for a Luger hot tag. Here it comes. Yep. He missed.
Another press drop.
Man, that's third or fourth one that Flair's sold, and he's eating it right now. Luger's red hot. Oh, here comes somebody.
Luger's clotheslines are a little stiff.
Here we go. We got somebody on like something is going on. You see
happening.
The crowd?
Yeah, they're looking. Is it Hall? Is this episode almost over?
Yeah, we got 6 minutes left.
It's got to be happening soon.
The crowd is, there's the giant. So the second half has had all the run-ins.
WCW shenanigans. It's craziness at the end of an episode.
Overbooked finishes.
Oh.
And the giant didn't sell any of that.
Also, that forearm was... It's pretty blah. I do... Yeah. I don't know if you saw... Oh! Is that a wooden chair?
Oh, my God. Oh, he hit him in the face.
What? Why are these...
What is going on?
Why are these wooden chairs anywhere?
This is a bonkers finish right now.
Whoa! Big Show. Sorry, I was about to say, I watched his conversation with Stone Cold on the network, and he talked openly about how he was so green at this time. Like he couldn't believe kind of being thrust into this spot because of how new he was kind of to the business, and he was obviously had to look for it to be great, but he wasn't as trained or anything as a lot of these guys.
Look at that fit this guy is wearing in the crowd.
Epic.
That was a pink jumpsuit. Homeboy.
Look at Mean Gene getting the post game interview right away.
Right in the action.
Oh, he spit on the camera. You see the spit just living there?
Oh. I don't understand the wooden chairs. That's a weird one.
Yeah. It looks like they were furnished by an outdoor patio furniture store.
All right, so we got 4 minutes left, so we're waiting on Kevin Nash, and this is coming right now. Heenan is fucking going for it.
What a legend, Bobby Heenan.
What is he saying? He's like...
He sees something.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There we
Scott
go.
Hall.
Here we go. Scott Hall. Now here. 2 toothpicks.
Yep.
Whenever we'd go out, if there was to a restaurant, if there was a toothpick, you better believe if I had food in my teeth or not, I was getting one, chewing it for a little bit, and then throwing it in the trash can like Razor Ramon.
Yep, you toss it.
Yeah, it's a lot of wrist. A lot of wrist.
Oh, here we go.
There he is.
Here's our boy.
Kevin
Man,
Nash.
look at that fit. Just... Man, he was red hot at this point, too.
Yeah.
Main event player at WWF. Here we go. It's not an adjective.
It's a verb. it's definitely a verb.
God damn it. Look at the fans climbing on the guardrail. They're getting paid so much money at this point.
Crazy amounts.
Yeah, I mean, they got bank, and then they had their dates cut in half. So they got paid more money to do less work, and they are instantly thrust into the main event picture and like top dogs.
By the way, Kevin Nash just made a Mein Kampf reference during this promo.
Did he? I missed it.
He was comparing how boring the show was.
Oh. This is a good segment right here, though. You couldn't get a paleontologist to get a couple of these fossils cleared? Man, just ripping the old guys. Couldn't get a couple of these guys off of dialysis.
Look at Nash.
I mean, Nash is jacked right here. He looks great.
Yeah.
And Hall this is prime Scott Hall. So, I mean, he looks awesome. They're just instantly gives WCW credibility. Instantly makes them main event players in terms of like just going against WWF. It's crazy how that worked. I just really wish that didn't like ruin NWO by putting just about everybody on the roster in that
Literally
faction.
Yeah, it just became NWO versus WCW. What a
Like,
moment.
I know that they wanted to do separate shows and have the different brands, but at the same time, like literally everybody that was in WCW was on that show.
Wow.
Or was on that
Yeah.
in that faction. All right.
What a great moment. Just a great episode. And obviously we had to go through some stuff to get to the big payoff there at the end, but that was again an epic moment. And we hope that you were watching along with us. Again, we're going to try to do this a little bit more, a couple of watch-alongs. Obviously, there's going to be the video aspect of this pod, so you'll be able to watch along literally with us. But if you're doing the audio version and you're probably at home, throw on this episode of Nitro and watch along with us. But with that, thank you again for voting for us to do this. We'll definitely do this again next week. I think we're gonna have a special guest along with us next week.
We'll do the vote every Friday for every Friday show, but we won't include a watch along every time.
Right.
But this one just felt right. We'll start doing watch alongs around anniversaries, around like events. So we'll continue to do the poll because I really like that. I thought that was a really interesting way.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was just fun to get everybody involved, and if there's big things going on in wrestling, we'll still do Friday preview shows, or we'll do shows around that. But I think this is a good time to do these watch alongs. So again, thank you if you watch along with us. It was an hour and a half, so this is gonna be one of our longer pods, but it was still fun.
Yeah, it's the second episode of the week, so hopefully you're just chilling at the house and you got some time to watch some old mid-90s WCW Nitro. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you download your podcasts. And if you're one of our fantastic Apple Podcast users, please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you're feeling spicy, leave a review. And our Spotify people, hit that follow button. Hit that follow. Don't be like my wife and not been following us this whole time.
Hit the subscribe button too on our YouTube channel. Follow us on YouTube at Two Jabronis with a Wrestling Podcast. There's a red button. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and on Instagram and in the BR app at Two Jabronis Pod. You can follow me personally at Jeremy A. Loss, and you can follow Ben at Cruise Control. That's control with a K. So thank you again to everybody who voted. Again, be on the lookout every Thursday. We'll be dropping a poll for you guys to vote on what we're going to talk about on Friday. And again, thank you to everybody who's kind of just been along on this ride with us so far. It means a lot to Ben and I. And again, please stay safe, stay vigilant about everything going on in this world. I know a lot of people are out partaking in the summer, or like in summer activities, but again, it's key to remain safe. Keep social distancing, keep washing your hands, and be kind to one another. It's a difficult time.
Absolutely. And Black Lives Matter. Thanks everyone. Yep. We'll catch you soon. Peace.
Bye.